What is up, guys? Ben Milliken here, back from Mystery Tackle Box. I just made it out to this local sexy little body of water. Of course, got the boat hooked up behind me, and I also got one more thing I'm very excited about. My Mystery Tackle Box Pro Box for the month of July. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna unbox this guy right here. Once we get out on the water, we'll kind of go through it, check out some of the new baits I got to use for this month. I'm super jacked about getting out here doing some fishing today, and hopefully we're gonna catch some fish. And I'm gonna show you guys how I like to use each one of these baits in different circumstances to help you catch some more fish. So without further ado, let's get the boat launched, get out there, start catching some launches. Let's go. Okay guys, just got out to our very first spot. Let's take a look at what we got in our Pro Box for the month of July. It looks like we got Big O's Game Changer Eliminator. So we got this eel looking plastic right here. Cool looking little bait. Might be good on a Texas rig at a lake like that. Usually I throw it on a Carolina rig, but a lake like this, a lot of shallow stuff to flip. We're gonna throw it on a Texas rig. Next one up is the Dobyns D-Blade Advantage. So we have a spinnerbait, and this is cool. It's a painted blade spinnerbait. Water looks a little dingy, so painted blade is gonna be absolutely key. Next one is the Lunker Hunt Prop Frog, another really good topwater bait. It's kind of a plopper style foot bait. Cool bait there. The Booyah Prank Popper, which is a cool popper. I've never seen anything like it until I got this in my box. It has a lip on it, so it's a popper and it dives. Cool bait. Got the Lucky John Hammer Stick, an exclusive bait to Mystery Tackle Box. Looks like a good little drop shot bait. The Larva from Fanatic Baits, so probably a clean water bait, something interesting. I've never actually seen anything like this. Cool looking baits though. And last but not least, we got the Rollin' Runner. So a little road runner style bait, a little underspin. Might be good with that hammer stick, but let's get a couple baits tied on and yeah, we'll kind of just go from there. All right, so for the conditions today, it's super low light conditions. You guys can see a lot of clouds in the sky. We've actually had rain the last couple days, so the water's really, really dingy. Hopefully it's not a straight up post front deal. It's not slick, calm, and sunny or anything. With the low light conditions, they should still be biting a little bit at least. But anyway, so the water's muddied up quite a bit. There's only like 3 to 6 inches of visibility, and this lake has a whole bunch of riprap, docks, some flooded vegetation, but not a whole lot. So I'm gonna tie on a couple baits, 2 or 3 different baits that came in my box. There's a couple in there that are gonna be absolutely perfect for these conditions. So let's tie those on, and then I'll tell you guys how to hopefully be able to catch some fish on them. All right, so first bait I tied on here was a no-brainer for me. I tied on this Dobyns D-Blade spinnerbait. Really nice looking bait, actually. Has a hand-tied skirt. Nice quality components, looks like, so definitely jacked about that. But the reason I like that so much is we got a ton of shallow water, muddy water, and that is absolutely key for whenever you're throwing a spinnerbait, especially around all these targets. So the way I like to fish it is, I'm gonna make as many casts as possible with this bait. As soon as that strikes on, I'm gonna reel it in and get it up out of there. But I like to do the same thing with the spinnerbait as I do with the crankbait, and that is fishing it around isolated pieces of cover, making deflection with them and really taking advantage of angles. So like I threw that corner, now I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna pitch it up under this tree a little bit, kind of fish it out right here. I'll come under the corner of this dock right here, throw around the outside of the tree a couple times because it's a nice little tree that's in the water, only tree in this area, so you'd think there'd be a fish around it. And I'm just gonna keep that bait wet, keep it in the water, keep it in the strike zone as many different angles as I can possibly hit the best looking pieces of cover as possible. And deflection is absolutely key. If you can run it into something, even better. It doesn't have that big, it's not gonna jump out to the side like a crankbait does when you hit it, but something about the clanging of those blades together. It's not a natural bait, so you want to make it be loud, erratic. You want to make those fish mad and have them come eat it. Okay. Right on the corner where she's supposed to. Oh, that's a decent one too. All right, what's up, dude? He like didn't even want to do anything. Pretty friggin' fat one though. Look at that. That's like a 3+ pounder. He was right on the corner of this dock, right where he was supposed to be on the old spinner blade. Man, that fish is fat. When these fish come up and they get up in the shallow water, when they're up eating stuff, they get starting to look something like that, and that's when the time I like to come out here and catch them, and I like to catch them on a spinnerbait. Yeah, he wasn't coming off. It was like a mushy bite, so he must have really got that bait really good. But get that big dude back in the water, totally sick. All right, so second bait I tied on from my box is this this Booyah Prank Popper. Now popper's good in clean water, muddy water, whatever, but it's especially good in areas where it's really, really calm. I don't like a popper in areas where the wind's really blowing in it. You can get away with a better bait. There's better options for top water, like a walking bait or a plopper or something if there's some chop on the water. But this is absolutely perfect. We just got back here to this little cut right here. Water is slick calm. I noticed there's a bunch of bluegill and stuff back here. So we're just gonna kind of throw this popper on these little isolated, overhang weeds, any type of post. We got this boat right here we can throw it right up against. It's a really, really natural bait that you can make it have that big bloop sound and just kind of work it in place. Leave it in that strike zone for a long time. All right, so third bait I tied on from the box is the Big O's Eliminator. Now this is a really good Carolina rig bait. That's how it was pretty much designed to be. But I've had just as much success flipping it on a Texas rig. So we got it rigged up on a 4/0 straight shank flipping hook, 1/4 ounce tungsten weight. We pegged it down, and of course just my typical flipping setup. So 7/6 heavy action rod. We want a lot of meat in this stick right here, and then a 7-to-1 gear ratio reel. And I'm basically just going to do, the typical. I'm going to flip it next to all different types of docks, laydowns, and up in these little pockets in the corners. I'm fishing way back in a cut right now, a little canal, because with this water coming up and the rain coming and everything, a lot of the bluegill are up really super shallow. A lot of the other bait, shad, everything got washed in. Oh, there's one right there. Would you look at that? Dirty little eel eater. It's not a bad one either. Look at that. On ye old eel. Hey, what do you know? There's fish in here. They want to eat the eel. I'll take it. It doesn't happen very often that you catch them on cue like that. But yeah, that totally works. Clearly a very solid bait. Like I was saying, when the water comes up, when it storms and stuff, you want to go up to the bank and up to the shallow piece of cover with them. You want to follow them. You don't want to be fishing out in the same spots they were back before that water came up, because those fish move right up with that water level. Woo! Just got off the water, guys. Sun came out, bite got a little bit tough. Those fish got a little bit stingy. I also don't think when the water comes up, it has so much new flooded habitat, so much food in the water and stuff, and so the fish feed up on that. Makes it harder to catch them, harder to find them, pinpoint them sometimes. But yeah, we did catch a couple of fish. The fish we caught were really solid ones. I strongly encourage you, if you got this Pro Box in the month of July, if you have these same similar conditions, muddy water, rising water, get out there with those 3 baits I threw today. You can pitch that Eliminator around any type of flooded cover. If it's super, super muddy water, you got green pumpkin, I would advise putting some chartreuse dip on it or something like that to make it stand out just a little bit more. If you got slick, calm water, throw that prank popper. And of course, if you have any type of water with some chop in it, some muddy water, throw that spinnerbait around, run into stuff, and you probably will run into some big old fish. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will catch you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.